In this example, I have a month column and a value column. And what I want to do is group based on month, or this could be salespeople. And I want to grab the top 3 performers in this case. So the 3 sales in January, where I had the biggest sales, and the 3 in February, where I had the biggest sales. And I can do this by first doing a grouping and then extracting the top 3 rows. First, I want to add an index column so we can see the original sort order. And based on experience, you can have the problem where you have a sort order that gets deleted after grouping or joining or deleting duplicates. So right now I'll do my sort descending and then realize that I might lose this after I do my grouping. But that's fine, I just want to show the example. And in this case I want all rows because I'll be extracting the top 3 afterwards. So in this case I lost my sort order because it was supposed to be descending on the values column, as we can see here in sorting. So this was a case where if I add my index column afterwards, then I'll keep it. And I could also do the table.buffer method, which is my preferred version. So instead of passing in just a sorted row table, I'm passing in a table buffer version of it. And now I have my sort order the way I want it to be. But another method I'll be showing in a moment means I don't have to do this table buffer, which would load the data into memory, which might be worse performance. But I'm just keeping it in here and then I can show that after. So at this point I want to extract the top 3, and because I've sorted it, I could just extract the first 3 rows, which is exactly what I'm doing, and after I'll show the other method. So I have a table in a cell, which means I need to use custom column to add a new column where I extract 3 rows, which is the TopN-function, or actually the first n. So not just, I don't want the list, I want the table first n. And my table exists in the count column, and I want the first 3. So that's really all there is to it, and at that point I can expand it. And I don't need month anymore because I have that here in my table. So I can delete the other columns and then expand and not use prefix. And that does everything I needed it to. But again, this requires me to use table buffer, which I'd like to avoid because it might have performance issues. So I can duplicate that. And the other method would then be, if I delete all of this, is to do my sorting after I've already done the grouping, because I don't actually need to change the sort order, which means now I have my grouping and nothing has been changed with the sort order, but now I can use the table sort function to sort the table within my column here. And I can either replace the existing column, which is a bit trickier with M, or I can add a new column. Yeah, because it's simpler, I'm just going to add a new column and that'll be fine because I haven't expanded that table. And that was the table sort function. And my table is again in the count column and my comparison criteria. And this is where it's really nice to have, if you've already done it once, because it's a bit tricky with the list of lists. So here you get this list of lists, month order descending. And I do want some of this, so I'm going to grab this. And actually, now that I'm looking at it, I should be able, I just want to see if this works. If I can do something like each count. Yeah, I probably can't do that, but it would be nice if I could say for each row in my table. Actually, I might be able to do that if I say sorted rows, and then the table I'm actually acting upon is found within the count column. Oh yeah, I can't, that's the name of the step, I need the previous step. So that would be grouped rows. I just want to see if I can do that. No, I can't do that. But that's fine, I had the syntax and I just wanted to see if it would work. So now I have my sorted table, And it's always nice to experiment because, hey, maybe it works. That's the point. And that was table sort. And now I have the codes. Now I have the code snippet I need. And my table is still in the count. And I need to pass in a list of lists because I can have multiple sortings. So I would have, in case I have the same month, how do I want to do it? But I don't want month. I need to sort based on the value column. And I need an extra parenthesis. So that is fine. Now it's mad. It can't do that. Values, because I misspell stuff. And this is fine. Now that's been sorted, and I can now delete the other two columns because I don't need them anymore. But I haven't extracted the top 3. So I'll do remove others, and this is now a whole table, but I only want the top 3. But because I've sorted it, I can actually just extract the first 3. I don't have to do a top N or anything. I can say I want a new column, and what I want is to do the first N instead of top N. So again, my table is sorted table, and I want 3. And actually, I don't want to have that step because then I have multiple steps where all I want to do is remove other columns, and now I can expand that. And this is the same outcome. So it's just a matter of whether you want to sort before you do a grouping, which again, I don't know if it's faster to do sorting on one table or sorting on these many mini tables after I've done the grouping. Here, because now I'm sorting each table within each row, so it's sort of like double looping. I don't know if that has performance issues, but I like this method more because I can see in the individual mini tables, I can see my sort order, and I can check that this is the way I want to, and also in my grouping, because maybe all of my big sales were in January, and then I can't see October because I don't have I can't see enough rows. So I would rather use this method where I group first and then I sort, and then I just extract the first 3. So yeah,